Hey everyone, welcome back to Seekers of the Malediction. Today we are joined again by the lovely Nico, and for another Master of the Malediction. And it's also one of the Loot Studios sponsored TTS Throwdowns that we're doing today. So Nico, why don't you tell us who our opponents are and who they're playing?
Yeah, we have one player that already had a little game here. It is Spar with Auric, and he's playing Nicky with Thundersteps today. So it's gonna be an epic clash between two Seekers and a lot of aggressive lists, possibly.
Yes, both of them are infamous Morta players. Nikki's nicknames, well, she has many a titles. Not only is she a game designer for Loot Studio, she is known as Mommy Morta or the Queen of the Damned or No Mercy Nikki. But yeah, Spar is also named acquired quite a reputation for playing Morta as well at a high level. So I was debating if they were both gonna throw each other down and we get a mirror match today, but they decided to mix it up on us. So with that, let's go right into deck reviews. Yeah, we'll start it off here with Oryx. So this is Spar's deck. Do you want to start off with general comments on his deck?
So I think we are seeing a little bit of an synergistic deck that tries to combine very aggressive plays with some of the um, defensive styles and healing, and the infamous Valkyris Priest that I'm sure will be producing more echo than you pay for him. So he's one of the keystones, I think, for his deck, because he will cycle some of the equipment, but the Valkyris Priest is a very good centerpiece to gain echo, get more resources, and gain resources back in forms of wounds, for example. So in aggressive lists that clash each other, those heals can be clutch.
Yes, yeah. So Valkyris Priest, as she is almost always critical for the early game. Not running any convokes. Very, as you can see, 22 units in this deck. So it's trying to swarm, but it's a little bit on the higher end of the swarm, right? So this deck is going to be very vulnerable early game. I kind of relate this a little bit in terms of um, my Landrill deck where you're trying to ramp and you're going to be vulnerable, but this unlike the Landrill deck doesn't have those early spells that can kind of get you out of sticky situation with preventions. So he's just trying to get up on activations and then outvalue you late game with just the quality of the models that he has and making attacks. So Valkyra's Priest finding one or two of those early game is going to be quite pivotal or critical rather to get to.
Absolutely.
Um, and then the items is really what he's using to dig deeper in his deck to find those key cards,
Yeah.
the priest or the late game cards that are gonna do a lot of the work.
And he really needs the echo back from the equipment or the echo from the Valkyris Priest, and I think that is why the creature count is so high. Because if you look at the average cost of the creatures, it's not that cheap. If you have a Muk Tovor, a Rogoth, Herald of Salvation, two Farsight Ambushers, and two True Song Exemplar, and a Warfront Commander, those are not the cheap units you'd expect to be in a cheap Swarm deck, right? In
Yep.
a weenie deck, you can say.
Yeah, and last thing and we'll get into a little bit more of the details, but for those of you that are good at math, you might have noticed that 22 units, six attachments, or sorry, three attachments, six spells, that equals 31. But he has six cards in his sideboard. So when I asked him about this, he said he just couldn't figure out what card to cut last. So he does it before every game, just evaluates 31 cards in his deck and then takes one out or swaps some additional ones in from his sideboard. But he will be running a 30 card deck. This isn't some secret tech. It's just he couldn't evaluate which card to take out when he was creating it. So we talked about Priest early game. That kind of moves us into mid to late game, I kind of think, which is really around the shamans as well as the Warfront Commander having that battle cry ability, as well as pairing it with like a little bit of what I consider a range package using the Citadel Crossbowmen as well as the Farsight Ambusher, right? So you're going to be up on activations, which is huge. A key tactic here, since you have more activations, you're going to You're going to burn activations that are a little less meaningful and make your opponent come into you, hopefully, and then you can kind of, double action attack on them to kind of really hammer it home. And range helps you excel on that because it lets you burn those range attacks as earlier activations while they're coming into you, and then your melee guy is really going to put a wall up on them. So yeah, Warfront Commander, Battle Cry, as well as the Inspire 2 for +2 attack. Shamans are great, and they can Battle Cry the Crossbowmen, as well as any of the other basic units. But yeah, and
And
then,
last but not least,
yeah,
it is 6 units with heal, plus the legacy of Auric is absolutely tremendous when you can deny damage, you can avoid the damage, and then you can heal up. If you manage to bring down a Herald, a Rogoth, Maktober, or something like that with high health count, that's going to be a very hard piece to remove if you've got yeah, 2-3 heals maybe on the board. So it will be crucial for Nicky to try to get rid of those heals before she can really yeah, knock something down that's really big with a lot of HP. Even if even more so if we've got the heart as one of the relics.
yeah. And that's a great transition because I was just calling out how he does run a bit of a protection package here in terms of the two True Stone exemplars as well as the Herald of Salvation that can protect 2 times, and then those are just extra hit points to spread damage out, get maximum use out of your healing, as well as, like you said, the legacy. So this is kind of a second aspect of that late game piece where you have your range and then you're backed up and you're kind of creating a fortress with protection units that make it really difficult for your opponent to eliminate any one piece, right? Meanwhile, you're healing back with the priests and the shamans as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially against range attacks, those guys are really really good to take minimum damage.
yeah. And then lastly, just calling out here the Twin Blade Skirmisher here. This is Auric specific basic unit. Um, the key thing here is that it has onslaught and some pretty good speed. So, again, this is a great unit to hit with the Shaman or the Warfront Commander. They can Battle Master it to have it advanced, and then the next activation, they are hopefully within range to Onslaught. He's also running 2 Answer the Calls, which allows you to deploy a unit into melee. Twin Blood Skirmishers love getting deployed in melee because then they can just come down and immediately activate and do that onslaught action. If you're able to give them some of these attachments, Horned Helm make them hit at 4/3. Feral Gauntlets, if they hit 2 out of their 3 attacks, doing an extra 3 damage as well as giving them +2 attack. So they can be very potent with the right tools, which this deck is running all the right tools.
Yeah, exactly. Especially again with a relic, with an aggressive relic that allows another attack. They are capable to do 4 attacks in one activation, and that's pretty harsh.
And then last is just call to arms. I think typically for Auric decks, a lot of people tend to pack a bunch of attachments in them, right? They want to make maximum use out of Auric's legacy, getting the extra card draw, that plus damage or the negating damage, as well as the echo back. We're only seeing 3 here, which isn't bad, but call to arms is a great way to filter out your deck, and he's wanting to essentially every turn draw into more and more units and just keep on flooding the board. So call to arms is great because you play it, you fish out a card from the deck, making it more likely you're going to hit a unit. It's going to draw you a card, which will hopefully draw you another unit, right? So this is a great card if you're wanting to run these swarm heavy lists and then just find answers to thin out your deck and get maximum usage. So it's a great utility card. I think I've mentioned this before when talking on the channel. You don't really want to run this with like a bunch of the 1-drop like Shield or Amulet of Vigor, but for Feral Gauntlets and Horned Helm, it pays for itself. So it's it's all upside essentially.
Yeah, there's just a small caveat or a downside you can say if you draw call to arms at the wrong time. It's just a blank card, so you can just ditch it for initiative or I don't know, keep it to fake something that you don't have. But the timing on this card is pretty crucial. If you draw it, especially after the Feral Gauntlet and Horned Helmet, well, yeah, it's just blank then.
Yes, that is the one downside. We do see last comment on it. Death Shroud Meyer being ran in with the with Spar's Auric deck. I think the main reason here is you are a little bit vulnerable in that early round. So Death Shroud Meyer is great to kind of block off additional line of sight, making it harder for opponents to charge into you or shoot you until you kind of get into those later rounds, have gained enough echo, hopefully through your priest, and you've kind of established that board. Um, so we'll
Yeah,
transition now to Nicky's deck, who is trying to do actually the exact opposite, it seems like. Um, Nicky is running Thunder Steps and is going to be really aggressive, I feel, and she is playing the Noxus Flesh Gardens, which, for those that don't know, is terrain that when you enter it, it has hazardous 3. So when you, on each activation, non-flying units that are activating or entering it, suffer 3 damage. So if you get knocked into it with a knockback effect or something else that places you in it, you immediately suffer 3 damage. And then when that unit goes to activate, it's going to take another 3 damage. So pretty much anytime you go into it, you're guaranteed 6 damage unless you're able to somehow like telekinesis out of it, not on its activation, which I think that's the only. Oh, there's Ambulance Transposition, but those 2 spells are the only way to really get around dealing the full 6 damage. Um, yeah,
yeah, and then the helmets come in because yeah, Spar is also able to push some
a
people
little bit.
around with the horned helmet. So I'm super curious if that maybe backfire at her. But she plays a pretty how would you say it? A pretty stabilized deck. So 11 spells, 14 units, 5 attachments. I think that's very solid. That's I think what you are recommended to build, like with 14 units, and I'm really curious to see how that plays out for her. Um, if she can stop the swarm with her deck,
Mhm.
what she's built so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I will just say last week on the Discord, I feel like Noxious Gardens gets a bad reputation of people just kind of discard it, and it's not very good, right, compared to some of the other options you have. Um, but I love the train. I think it has a very strong effect. 6 damage. That's like half health. I think of the majority of of models in the game or units in the game. Some have 8, which it's
Yeah.
even like it almost kills them, right? But I think the average, if you were someone were to go and average out like all the maximum health HP, I think 12 would be the number. So it's very strong if you can knock into it, which is exactly what her deck is aiming to do, is maximize knocking it into the terrain. So do you want to go over the legacy for Thundersteps and kind of talk about that aspect of it?
Yeah, sure. So just one more comment on the terrain pieces because that's the beauty of Malediction to build around those terrain pieces. You can choose them and you can build a whole deck around it. And if you don't have the chance to do that in a specific way that you can't choose the terrain, then your deck might be garbage. But in this case, if you build it around it, you have so much impact on the battlefield and you can do a lot of stuff. And I will be super curious to see how it works out when this spammy stuff goes out and they get pushed into the damage terrain because they will be eliminated very quickly if they can't find a way out with 3 or less health, right?
All right, so Storm's Eye, what does that do, Nico?
Storm's Eye. So first of all, we've got more starting echo. That is the one thing to mention in the beginning. We've got 25 echo to begin with, and then we have the first ability, Relentless Search. And whenever you activate an ally you own, that's sometimes a little bit important. You may discard a card, and if you do that, that ally moves up to 3. So essentially, you get half a movement. I would consider half a movement because most of them walk like 6 um, for free if you discard a card, and that brings you into the position to maybe charge something and put it into a dire spot or even into the terrain. And that is the second ability that makes it even stronger to reposition a little bit with a 3 inches. And that is the brutal charge. Because while performing a charge, allies you own get +2 damage, which is a lot when you consider that plus the damage of the flesh gardens. and they gain knockback. And whenever this unit scores a hit, it may push the defender up to the mentioned inches, which in this case is not not something to underestimate, because that can be really hard to get back from, especially if you land in the flash guns and have to deal
Yeah.
with the additional damage taken.
Yeah.
Um, and Thundersteps is no one that is famous for his small damage. No, he is someone
No.
that hits and hits hard. He can one-shot units from nothing. And a ditched card is a ditched card. Yes, you lose a card, but if you gain into the position to one-shot something and then go on, because Thundersteps has cleave, oh boy, that is lots of fun and can combo like snowball into huge damage chunks that you're inflicting on your opponent's units.
Yeah, so Storm's Eye is going to be the primary way that Nicky's looking to get the knockback effect. But that's not the only source. So we have Horned Helmet in here, just like in Spar. So this is, essentially adding knockback if they're not charging and they're just in melee. Or you can also pair it with the Farside Ambusher, and it will apply on hit of the range attack as well. So this is I think this is going to be the primary hit that we see that she's going to want to put the horned helmet on so that Farside Ambusher at range 12 can start knocking people back using its ranged attack. But then we also have 3 copies of Heart Stab Blast, which is to you choose an ally model. It deals 3 damage to all units nearby, and then anything nearby gets pushed 2 inches away. So again, you take 3 damage from this. It pushes them into Noxus Terrain. That's another 3. They're going to activate, and it's going to do another 3. That's 9 damage. That kills Spar's crossbowman. It kills Sim's priest. It leaves his Terric beast on 1 HP, nearly killing shamans and just a majority of his deck. I think if she can pull off this combo.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the push on the card. Damage push with this terrain. Man, there are so many opportunities to use that. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we just want to mention a couple of attachments, the other attachments, I guess, in this deck is wing sandals. Little Floridian slip there. Yeah, wing sandals. Why don't you talk about why this is relevant in Nicky's list?
Well, first of all, it gives +2 speed, which is absolutely great for Thundersteps, because if he lacks something, it is mobility, but his legacy helps him a lot, and winged sandals help him a lot. And additionally, Thundersteps or any unit that needs to go in and maybe through the flesh gardens can just fly over and never take damage from that. And that is a huge advantage if you are playing on a field that is just spread all
Yeah.
over with the flesh gardens that deal damage to you.
Yep. And last comment, Thundersteps has 2 feet, not 1, so he needs 2 pairs of boots. So if you don't hit the wing boots, Scout's boots are obviously great on him as well. This is a staple in all Thundersteps decks that I've seen. Scout boots gives them not only the 2 movement, which he loves, but hit and run. And hit and run says whenever this unit defeats an enemy, it may perform a free move. Thundersteps also has cleave on his card, which is whenever he defeats an enemy unit, he can make a free attack. So since these both trigger on defeat, you as the Thundersteps player get to choose which order they activate on. So you can kill a model, choose to use hit and run first, make his full move, which would be 8 inches or more if he's on terrain or something like that, like the Pathways terrain, and then do the cleave attack. He hits again, potentially kills something else, rinse and repeat until the whole board is dead. That's always the dream, right?
I
So I
think that
think
is what you can define as a wombo combo, right? Because just move, hit, move, hit, move, hit, push him back, knock him back, deal again damage over damage and damage. And yeah, I mean, the sequence here is not to be underestimated, because Nicky has to sequence it really, really academically, because she needs to think about which unit can I hit that will die if I hit it, which can then trigger hit and run and cleave. Which unit will I hit last to push it away from, for example, a relic? Which unit do I want to hit to push it back into the gardens and maybe immobilize it because they can't move, they can't do anything because they will die when they take the 3 damage. So there are a lot of opportunities there, but there are also a lot of mistakes that can happen, and she has to sequence it really right to get the most of it or all of it out of Thunder Steps. Because I'm pretty sure, seeing those lists and seeing the terrain chosen, that Nicky will be the aggressor, and Spar probably will play more on the defensive side. But it is also pretty cool to have those knockbacks abilities to shove away the protection units that will normally be there and guard their important keystone units, right?
Yeah. And I think without further ado, we're at the time when we want to kick things off exactly at 1 o'clock. So I think that let's hop into the match and let them get started. We are
Well,
going to try.
and
Oh, go ahead, Loki.
just one small comment, because I just see more and more people trickling into the channel and watching us and watching the game soon. You all have the opportunity to interact with us via the chat. There is a little button, a little talk bubble on the right side of the chat. So if you want to say something like Jason did 3 minutes ago, you can just write into the chat. I will have an eye on it and will implement comments or questions you might have for this great game of Malediction. And we will try to answer it or give you more insights of what we think is going to happen on the battlefield right here.
Yeah. So with the last thing, Nicky and Spar, I'm going to have you guys at, well, I'm going to put you guys at 40%. It won't come through the audio, but we will be picking up a little bit of your audio throughout the recording. But without further ado, why don't you guys get started?
Okay. Just let me know if you need to adjust anything here. So, hey,
All right.
Spar.
Hey, all right, let's
Ready
roll
to
some
roll?
dice.
All right.
6,
Sorry, guys,
7.
just getting
Okay,
last minute
You got it.
changes configured.
no problem.
And
It's
Nikki and Spar, make sure you guys are muting Loki and myself so you're not hearing our commentary, if you don't mind. So you can do that in
Yeah,
Discord.
just a sec. I can't.
Exactly.
I just need to pick the.
Oh,
Oh,
let
yeah,
me
it's
just
been
clean up
quite a
the
bit.
game here.
I'm
Sorry, guys.
watching patch, and I think everything's ready. Okay.
Okay.
So my.
It says there's only 4 terrain in that terrain bag, though.
Okay.
Well,
Seems
as
way
long
hard
as
to
the
get.
Okay.
lowest one and the, of course, there's not there.
All right.
So first of all, Pat, what do you think Spar will throw out his deck because he has the 31 cards?
Oh, that is great
Yeah, it's just not in
to do. Or do we take bets if he remembers to do that? Is he doing it currently? And does he
Let
just
me
play with the
load
31 and
one of
forgot that
my
he was going to do this?
saved decks,
Yeah.
and
That is
I think
Then
it
just
will
that
have.
is a good question.
I'm gonna guess he
note
forgets
for
to
that
do it in
because
the
that is
with
not
all the
supposed to
pressure of
happen.
all the eyes on him. He forgets to take out a deck and he's just gonna play 31.
Okay, yeah, here's the full.
All
Could
right.
be quite possible.
So
Okay, so
one of the things, hopefully they have us muted at this point, but
So
I think what
yeah,
I
they
okay.
said it. I waited a little bit longer to mute them.
let's start with
And Nicky and Spar just said, yeah, we will
Great.
do that.
problem.
So one of the things I've been noticing with this
One,
Flesh Gardens train is that you really want to put it on the outside
just an
of the
angle.
list because you want your opponent to have to go into front of it, right? And then you're coming across the table one way and you're going to knock them into it. So if you put it very centrally, you have to get around it first yourself. And then you're almost like having to loop all the way around, right? To get it in. But this is perfect. So if, let me
Yeah,
get my handy dandy paint here and I can start coloring
block the
stuff.
line of sight,
How about that?
so my squishy units don't get charged.
All right. Let me see. Does this work? Oh, nope, that doesn't work. Sorry, I am not doing things. Technical difficulties here.
Well, it did color something.
Okay, sorry.
Everything.
So if you're deploying here, right, you want the relics to kind of be, and it's just a second.
Okay.
You want the relics to be kind of here-ish, right? You're going to place them here. Let me make the pen bigger.
I mean that is the first decision to make, right? Nicky has to think about, okay, where will I put my flesh gardens
Right.
to have essentially focal points where the action is going to happen. And with the placement of the relics, she can force 2 focal points where action is
Yes.
absolutely going to happen.
Yes.
And that is a thing that is absolutely amazing in Malediction, that you can where you have to think strategically from the beginning, from deck building to terrain to placing it to where to put the relics. I think this flesh gun, by the way, this oh my god, I would love to see it in the middle because it's so open.
See, so here I'm drawing. So I think based on where she's putting it, right? You want to put, well, we're the ones, the 3 that she absolutely put. You want to put them in the terrain, and then it forces your opponent to literally have to stand in front of the gardens, right? If you put them in the terrain, there's only, 1 or 2 positions where they can sit, and then it forces them to have to come around to here, right? So you want your opponent to come around to here, pick them up, and then you are, I've played games if we're deploying from opposite corners here, where I've just ignored my own terrain to get into position, and then like you said, you have Thunderstep's Legacy to discard 3 to get you in a position. But if you're deploying from here and they're deploying from here, right, and they pick up this one, you come across and then you put yourself in a position to knock them up turn 1 after they pick it up, right? So I don't think if you put them in the middle, it's harder to telegraph where they're gonna be, essentially.
Yeah, but to put such an open tile in the middle, and I think this is the one that is most open, it delivers you an option, an opportunity to always push something into it. So I think the smallest one in the middle that is the most open.
But where do you have to be to push it in? Like, okay, so I guess it's all about starting position to me and ending position. If you come from this way, right? If you're coming from this way and you are here, that means that you're coming from the opposite direction. You have to get all the way over to here and then knock them back this way, right? That's why I think just putting them all on the outskirts, so you have to go straight through in a line to knock them in, is better than anything central where you have to essentially loop around and get them from the opposite end. That's kind of what I was trying to illustrate and talk about, why I think having all the flesh gardens on the outside perimeter to knock them into is going to be more beneficial than having something central where it feels like you're doing more work and there's going to be more opportunity, but really you're making it really hard to position yourself to get in to a spot where you can actually knock them in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes absolutely sense. I was just imagining a heart blast, and then charging in, using the heart blast to push it to the side, and then it's in. So that was what I was thinking about. Otherwise, you are completely correct to start on the other side and then just go straight through the middle. And that is why I love to have the smallest one of them in the middle, because Thundersteps needs space. He's on a huge base. He needs space. He has to get through the terrain to get to the units, and that is one of the most important things. She has to keep in mind that Thundersteps has the opportunity and has the chance to reach them. Oh my god! Oh, that is
we'll review the relics that got flipped. We have Everkeeper Reliquary. This gives +2 attack and defense to whoever picks it up, and then they can swap it at any point. Doesn't have to even be their activation. Any point in the game, they can swap it for another relic in the middle. We have Umberon Cloak. This one I really don't like, but it does give flying, which is relevant for Flesh Gardens, if to ignore that terrain, as well as a 2 AP action to teleport, where you can just move yourself anywhere on the table. Just you pick up your model, put it anywhere you want. That does provoke retaliation. We have Trapjaw's Chain, which is another source of movement effect, which is going to be great for Flesh Gardens. +6 range, and then on a hit, you can pull them up to 6 inches. And then lastly, if they end within melee of you and they didn't start within melee, they suffer an additional 3 damage. And last is Ring of Time right now, which is unit gain spell recall, 2 AP action. You can play a basic or elite spell from any discard pile. It can be your opponent's or yours, and play that. All right, so we
Yeah,
have the
and
initial.
seeing the trap jaw is just amazing. If I were Nicky, I would try to get those trap jaw as fast as possible, because that enables so many cool plays with the flash gardens. An evergreen is the relic that can swap out, because you can just wait until a relic appears that you really want to have. So for me, the swapping out is one of the evergreens, and if I see it, I will most likely pick it.
Yep.
Because it gives you some stats, and you
Yeah.
can swap it out whenever you want.
Okay, I want this side.
All right, so we
It even
both opponents bid a 2. We had a roll off. Nicky rolled an 18, so she is going first. Interesting that Spar hit 2 of the spells. The rest are units, so I think that's the right call. You again here. She's just wanting to flood the board and play units. So even if he grabbed an item, I think he's discarding or bidding the item. From Nicky's perspective, she has a couple of. Oh, she has Muktavar, so I'd be curious if that comes out. Okay. So we do have
Oh,
all
he
3
does.
units. No Thunder Steps in the initial, which I think is good because now you can see what relics get picked up, and Nicky is deploying from this corner over here. So pick up a relic here, probably pick up a relic here, and then whatever relic Thunder Steps likes better, you deploy him second round or in a position where he can just immediately charge and kill something. And then it kind of lets you see what additional relics get flipped up. So Muktavar, 9 cost unique, 4 attack, 5/3 damage. He's a big beater, 18 health with regen 3. If he hits both of his melee attacks, or really just 2 melee attacks, because there's Adrenaline Rush or other ability spells that she has access to that will give more attacks, he will do an additional 5 damage. So. And then Tarek Beast, this is just a great unit for board control, speed 10 on a 2-cost unit. Really great for just fighting for positioning and projecting threat, right? Because he's not himself is very scary, but you can deploy off of him, right? So if he runs up the board and gets into position, you have to respect that, because Thunder Steps could be deployed off of him, and then all of a sudden you're doing a lot of damage.
Exactly. That is one thing that I want to mention. The Tarek Beast offers so much projection. So what do we mean with the projection? Pat just said it pretty straight away in his sequence. You can move it 20 inches, and then you have the opportunity, if it's not engaged, to deploy Thunder Steps in your back or on the side or something where you really don't want to be as an opponent when suddenly a Thunder Steps appears in your flank or in your rear, and he starts mauling you down and pushing you into the other units or something like that. So that is meant by projecting threat, to move units along the line to favorable positions, and then summon strong units just at that point. And that is why you don't have to put down every single unit that you have from the beginning. So you can just project threat from the starting point and then summon in the better units later the next turn, for example.
Yeah, last unit from Nicky, just a Caber Mauler. This is, one of my favorite, like middle of the road units. Like, it has 12 health points. It deals damage at 3/2. It only costs 4. It has the potential with Wild Strikes to hit up to 5 damage, right? I love this unit. I think on paper he's just so vanilla, but he ends up being very impactful every time I played it. Just a great.
Uh-oh. I disconnected.
We're cursed every time we have this game. We do this. We get disconnected from a lobby here. So, Jason is the one that was hosting this game for us. So you can file your complaints as you always do with him, and he will field them.
I think it wouldn't be the same if we don't have a disconnect, right?
Doesn't bode well that this one was 10 minutes into to the event, but yeah.
No worries. All right. Thanks, Jason.
Just getting the game back. Oh no. Jason's gonna have to load the save file, hopefully. Otherwise, we might be having a remake here. I did want to comment that I checked. I hovered over Spar's deck. He does have 24 cards left in the deck, so he did forget to take out a card with the 7 opening bid. Yeah.
You win the bet.
So.
I would just tell Jason to change his color, otherwise Nicky can't
Yes.
get in the seat.
Mag save here.
I think he's also loading the save file.
Oh,
Hopefully.
cool.
I mean,
Uh,
you can just place it like
That looks
Yeah,
like
I guess, yeah. That works.
a quick remake.
I'll need to
Let's take a look. So sorry for the technical difficulties. Just write Jason. Oh, he's already informed. There we go.
click on the token. Where is
So yeah, we see two pretty aggressive lists facing each other, and yeah, the trap
Jason's gonna
jaw
probably
chain
pause.
is, I think, one of my favorite relics that can occur in the Flesh Gardens. That enables so much damage.
yeah, so another MVP, we'll just kind of, well, I don't have the card up right now, but the other sneaky card that I really like in Thunder Steps is that the Boneclaw Raider, right? So she is a 6-cost unit, hits at 4/2, speed 6, I believe it is, but she has Nimble and she also has the free move action, right? So every activation she gets to make a free move, which
Okay.
is great for lining up those angles so that you can get the
Alright.
knockback done correctly. All right, looks
Uh-oh.
like that's not the right save state.
Not the right save file.
So I think you found the.
No.
Okay.
That is
No.
definitely not.
Okay, so
All right, we might have a bit of a remake here. We'll see.
Try again?
yeah, we will have a remake, but I think we can reconstruct it pretty quickly. So sorry for the inconvenience to all the viewers. Just give us 2 or 3 minutes, and then everything will be set up again.
I mean, this is
We can
All right.
help a little bit, Pat, if you go for the relics and put them in the right order. What
They
was
might. It's up to them if they just want to pretend like the last 15 minutes didn't happen and quickly set up again.
I have my deck saved as an object, so I could load
Mhm.
mine, but that doesn't help you if you don't have it saved.
sure. And just restart from terrain.
Oh, you already asked, so I don't have
Yeah.
to.
All right.
So I will unmute them real quick.
Oh.
The deck importer button is missing.
And I'm going to take this. Nicky and Spar, I think, are a little bit low for me. So I'm going to, oh yeah, somehow they got dropped to 40%.
Okay.
All right, there we go. All right.
So guys, that is the equivalent of a table flip. So if you occur that in real life, you can
Right.
just reset and go again.
I think I like
might
Spar's
actually
hand
like
better
to
than I did
see if I
Nicky's. So I
can.
think if I'm not trying to say whose fault it was that, DDoS the server or anything like that, but it
Yeah,
might have
Jason
been.
has to reopen it real quick
No.
because the deck importer
let
is
me.
missing. Just open a new game and they will just restart again. I
All
think the
right.
terrain setup will be pretty quick.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe this is an opportunity because we've got so many viewers. Some of them triggered in after I told you guys about the chat option. So you could just click on your Discord, go to the channel you're currently in. It is a stage, so we are the only speakers here, but you can use the chat. We've got currently 18 viewers here in the channel, which is pretty amazing, to be honest. You can all find it also on YouTube later for the channel Seekers of the Malediction. And you can just use the chat option, which is when you hover over the TTS Throwdown channel on the right side with a little bubble that says Open Chat. and then you can just chat with us, write us your predictions, maybe your questions, what you wanted to know, maybe some strategic advice
Just
you want to
totally
have,
restart.
or anything like that. This is the perfect option to do exactly that,
You
because we are
win
currently
again.
restating the
Dice in my
game
favor.
and
Yeah.
get those two running again.
Okay, so
Um,
basically the same plan
yeah,
as before.
or maybe just share some experience you already have with Thunder Steps or anything like that.
All right. They're already into it. I'm gonna switch. So
See if we can copy paste.
Sure.
yes, switch it over here. Apparently, I took a screenshot. But
I kind of want this down here though.
okay, we are back into it. I think they're. Oh, they are going to try to replace it roughly where it was. It seems like.
Yeah, I think that's the
Um,
quickest way to restate the game.
and then I was going to do something. Oh,
I might be able to fit it there.
all right. Let me. Oh, that's what is. That's what I was trying to do. Sorry, 1 second here. Player's name. I only have options for one color. Oh well. All right. I am. Let me see if I can message Jason about that quick.
Okay.
Fit this in here. No. Okay, I'm good there.
All right. So I'm
Do you
back
have
into.
access, Loki, to
I'm just checking.
to
I'm
Game
still loading.
Master?
Still loading. Still loading.
Perfect.
Could be possible that Jason has to
Okay.
give you the
Place
host.
the husk.
That is how it worked for me last time.
Hmm. All right.
I currently
It looks
don't
like we
have
do have
the
a little bit
option.
of a mix-up. So they did just kind of redeploy. Oh, there we go. I think I am now. Perfect. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jason.
Here.
Because we do have a slightly different orientation. I think we don't have that train in the middle, and then tusk placement's a little different, which is good. I'm glad they're not trying to try to recreate the previous game. Let me just hide these names. All right, get a clean screen for everyone. All right.
Sounds good.
Okay. So this is a little bit of another setup. I was a huge fan of the Noxious Flash Garden in the middle, but now it is a pretty covered up spot in the middle.
Okay. All new relics.
And we've got some new relics
We do.
to hover
All right.
onto. We've got the Spell Eater Mask,
Oh,
which is
yep. We'll
which
go
is
from the bottom.
great. Offers spell immunity. Yeah,
I think
just
I
move
like
from
that
the
less.
bottom, and
The
you
other one's better.
can heal, which is pretty amazing. We've got the Boots of Celerity, and I'm not
Okay.
sure which relic you want to see most of the time, or which do you find better, if it's the Boost of Celerity or the Trapjaw Chain for Thundersteps.
I think the boots because
Um,
it lines up the
yeah,
angles that he wants to charge and knock people back into it, and plus just free
yeah,
movement on Thunderstep, so he can,
yeah.
get to you quicker and stuff. It's pretty potent. These are all great. These are like the Thundersteps items, right? Because Spell Eater Mask, if you're playing against like Londril or something like that, or like Angor, or Thundersteps doesn't want spells
I
being
will
played on
take-
him to control him, so that's great for him. Boots of Celerity, great.
I'll take the
Helm of
Spar.
Wrath, he doesn't need it, but it does give resistance to, and as well as Berserk 2, but he already has Berserk 2, so he doesn't need that. Last one is Reaper's Edge, which is just +2 extra damage to Thundersteps.
Amazing.
I will
Yeah.
take that.
9 damage
Better
on a hit.
haste.
9 damage.
Okay,
That is
so this
amazing.
game we have a 9 versus 6 bid. Spar bid Muktavoy and won, and he's picking corner. He picks the bottom left. We have the Boneclaw Raider coming out from Nicky. Nicky has left in her hand this time a Boneclaw Raider, Bloodfeast Raptor, Ambusher, a lot more
Nice
units
unit.
this turn.
Going to
So I'll be interested to see what she deploys. And Spar he didn't hit any Priest, which I think he had Priest last game. So he's probably pretty sad that he had to
one, I
remake
think.
one.
player
But
crossbowman.
yeah,
But he's got the range package.
he did.
He's got the Spirit Shaman and the Citadel Crossbowman, which love each other enthusiastically with a battle cry, and the once per activation attack because of the reload ability. And he's got Rogarth. Okay, that absolutely makes sense that he decided to bid a 9 with Mok Tovor because he's got Rogarth in his hand anyway. So yeah, there are a lot of units on the battlefield for him again. I mean, he's playing a lot too, so. But the real question is he playing with 31 cards again? He is.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 24 cards left, so
He's
the
got a
mistake
lot on
happened.
his mind right now. Okay, his secret tech backfired for sure. Crossbowman that we talked about, the shaman with the range combo, and then that Terror Beast again getting out. He's going to come out really aggressive. I'm curious because this deck I feel like can get into a little bit of a trouble if he overextends. So if Rogarth and the Terror Beast really go out far, and the shaman and the citadel are kind of hanging back, picking up these back relics. Nicky can come out strong with thunder steps and whatnot and kind of kill these early guys and kind of turn if he engages both of them, depending on how far they run up, they can get turned off, so you can't redeploy off of them. And then if the shaman and the crossbowmen are far back, it's really hard to support those, and he might just end up losing these really early aggressive pieces if he is playing too aggressive with them.
Yeah, Rogarth is kind of a middle spot, right? He's got some health. He's got some health with 16 points and a defense of 14, but he is not the sturdiest. He has only offensive abilities, and it is not something to protect your Spirit Shaman and your Citadel Crossbowman. So we are again back at projecting a threat. And the Boneclaw Raider is perfect for doing that because the Boneclaw Raider also has dash, so essentially 3 moves within with 6 inches, so she can position in a way that she projects a lot of threat into his flank. And we've got the Farside Ambusher, which I really love because he's got pinpoint and ambush, and 12-inch range is amazing.
Okay, so we have how much Echo is Spar at now? 1, right?
So Spar is currently at 2.
Oh, 2.
And
Thank
we've
you.
got Nicky on 6.
All right, we'll just update the player's mastery so we can keep track and not have to look at theirs. Yeah, I was just about to comment this, that I'm a little worried at where this Farside Ambusher comes down, because exactly what I was just talking about with Rogarth. If you put this Farside Ambusher too far forward, Rogarth can, he has free movement with this dash, and then a speed of 8. So he can get on this Farside Ambusher almost right away. And I do worry that this Farside Ambusher might just die from being ambushed up the terrain. So for those that don't know, Deshard Meyer, sorry, it's a little crooked here, but have the concealing ability. Units with ambush may use this terrain as a deploy zone, and the Farside Ambusher has ambush 1, so that's why she is able to put the Farside Ambusher completely within the terrain and outside of the normal deployment zone. But yeah, just drawing here, 8 inches to here is there, and then another 8 inches. So, Rogarth can kind of essentially just walk up and take can't charge him because of the terrain, but could walk up and smack him once right off the bat. So
yeah, I think I would have loved to see Nicky placing him on the right side of with the
that's
Death
Graze.
Shroud Maya behind the Noxious Flesh Gardens that are closed from both sides, or almost closed from both sides.
Ah, now I
Because
follow.
with 12-inch
Okay.
range, he's projecting a lot of threat to
Unless there's a
the
spell
enemy
coming.
lines if they are not standing in the Death Shroud Maya.
You make it.
Okay.
And he could
Oof.
easily pick up the Husk on the right side, which
All
I
right, I'm
think
gonna
she will
go
do
with the
anyway with a
Shaman,
Bone Claw Raider.
and we're gonna
But it's a pretty
heal the
costly
crossbowman.
unit, the Farside Ambusher.
Actually,
But she immediately activates
how
him.
risky do I want to
And
go?
try to take out the crossbowmen. Could have, if she hit twice, she could have taken him
play-
out, which would have been a
which
pretty
probably
good
don't
trade, right?
happen
So you're
because
trading
of-
3 Echo and then keeping the ambusher around. I don't think it's going to stay around that
So
soon, but you know, getting back an immediate 3 mastery or 3 Echo from the Farbred
we're
ambusher
gonna
would have been nice
we'll
here.
not go with the Shaman.
But now I'm a little worried
Yeah.
about
We'll go with
this
Rogarth
guy.
instead.
Okay.
So let's see what here comes Rogarth right off the bat.
Yeah.
So there's like
He
5 and 3 for his dash.
and if it
We
fails,
easily get
Spar
there.
also has the Spirit Shaman to hit
He's 1
again,
AP, and then
and
he'll make 1
that
attack.
could end up being fatal for him. But that's a 4, so that's no damage at all because
That's gonna
Rogarth
be a Graze.
Well,
hits
it's
hard
2.
if he hits.
Yeah, Rogarth only hitting him for 2,
And that is it.
which is going to be done. So he'll live, but he again, you know, this Blood Frenzy Berserker speed what? It's speed 8, but I don't think he's kind of off here on an island by himself, going toe to toe with Rogarth, and I don't think it's going to bode well for him. Especially because they're in the terrain. So even if he deploys Thunder Steps, you can't really charge Thunder Steps in there to start wailing on Rogarth really hard.
All right,
It'll be interested to see how much he's going to try to bail her ambusher out, or just kind of let him die and then lick the wounds later. It does kind of delay.
Maybe she has.
Oh, go ahead.
Maybe she has a Die Hard or something like that.
No Die Hard, but she does have Endless Rage to refresh. So yeah, maybe it's bait to kind of bait him in, and then she's gonna go later and get Thunder Steps in there. She's at 6, so going up next round, she can only play Thunder Steps and nothing else if that is her play. So it'll be interesting to see what comes down, if she's gonna keep her foot on the gas, or if she's kind of gonna let off and maybe get Thunder Steps, develop the board, take some early Huss and fight for board position here. As it seems like Spar's just kind of grouping everything to the left here and kind of grouping up and not wanting to I'm curious if the Shaman. Oh, the Shaman double battle cried, so he's going to try to KO the ambusher, but kind of leaving this last husk open for you know a potential of this Boneclaw Raider could come, get up the board, take this one, and steal this one next round, because she's super fast, being able to essentially move 18 inches every round.
I'll move her once.
So we also got only fans for Nicky currently, as Jason is a little bit well, let's say on Nicky's side, because he's a little bit biased. They both work at Loot Studios. But Victor's Drake, he's also for Nicky because he said Spar beat him in his recent league game. So, Pat, which one are you cheering for?
Well,
Is it T-Steps, Nicky, or is it Auric with Spar?
Well, for those that don't know, Spar's real name is Pat, and so I'm on Team Pat here. And I have a hunch that Nicky has Crux, or is very vulnerable to people that play Pat against her. So I'm rooting for Spar here to continue the Pat train going.
I see. Well, I like the idea of the Flash Gardens, and I will absolutely root for Nicky and her ballsy play to just push the Farside Ambusher so far up the board.
And then he's done.
All right, so we had the Terric Beast coming in here, activating, walking up, taking 1 hit there. Nicky's out of activation, so after the Terric Beast, Crossbowman's going to go up and then take a shot. If this is a hit, this will be a dead ambusher, and he'll get to scoop up the relic. And it is not, so it's going to leave him on 1.
Oh boy.
So no
He
relics.
survives.
So this is gonna delay Spar a whole nother turn of sitting here to claim
Okay.
this relic.
So,
And
I
it's
guess
not gonna go. So no relics for
to the
Spar this
next
turn.
round.
Nicky's gonna
I don't
get the best two,
any-
which is gonna be Boots and
any
Reaper,
relics.
which is not
You want me
good
to
for Spar's position. I'm sure Spar was hoping to get at least one of
Okay.
these to take away from
Yeah.
Nicky.
The boots and instantly given to Thundersteps, and she's exactly 10 echo to go for.
Yep.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay,
That
I
is
am gonna.
not good at all.
I hope they don't get annoyed. I'm spinning all the models so that we can see their face and I can view from like an unbiased view. Okay, cool. Hopefully they probably weren't like, what the hell is he doing right now? All right. Yeah, they're both very confused now, I can tell.
That's a conundrum.
You can just type it into the chat in the TTS, so they know what you're doing.
I have that hidden. Maybe you could do it for me. All right.
Okay.
They do go up. I'm going to wait until they deploy to adjust their Echo and Mastery. I could change, oops. Got to keep on doing that. So Nicky's going to go up to 20 Mastery here. She hasn't, okay, she's thinking about which one she wants. So she didn't forget to grab her. So 20 Mastery for Nicky. Spar is still at 0. So, ooh,
Yeah.
Fang, another one that is really good for Thunder Steps.
Ooh.
Let's see here.
Oh
Fang
my
of the
god,
Damned.
but you can
Once
only have
per,
one.
Yeah,
She goes
once
for the
during this
Essence
unit's
Cleaver.
activation, it may suffer 3 damage to perform a free attack. So you get the charge, you get the bonus charge damage. Then Thunder Steps can, suffer 3 damage, hit again, heal him up. They're really good because Fang of the Dam would proc, and then you could dip him below berserking range and then hit, and then the hit heals and he goes back up, but you still get a benefit from that berserking damage. I believe that's the way it works.
Yeah, but that's a very risky play.
I think I do.
All right.
All right, so we're getting a potential bid here
but
from
I think
Spar.
I like the Reaper's Edge here because she can produce a lot of echo with it.
Yes.
And playing only the Thunderstep sides doesn't have a lot of
So one
echo
thing here
generating
is
stuff like the totem. Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, it's just interesting because Boots on Boneclaw, she already has dash, so you can't double up. So she's not going to get 2 free moves. So it almost is telegraphing that I think I would have liked to put the Boots on the Blood Frenzy Berserker in case you want to give Thunder Steps the Reaper's Edge. Because now if Thunder Steps comes down, takes Reaper's Edge, the Boots really aren't doing a whole lot for Boneclaw Raider.
Okay.
But I'll be interested to see what she feels is more important. If she's gonna
I
put
think
Thunder Steps.
her plan is set. I think her plan is set, and she will call down Thunder Steps at the Boneclaw Raider location.
Okay.
And then just walk in and smash.
I think I can
That is a lot of
Like-
force here, right? Against because you have the Shaman up here. The Shaman can do Battle Cry into obscuring. It's only blocked by like the red pieces of terrain that are obstructing. So she can walk up 6, and I'm assuming she's about. Oh, I'm assuming she's 12 inches. Yep. So a Shaman walking up and telling both of these crossbowmen to shoot a Thunder Steps that is engaged with Rogarth if they have line of sight could be very dangerous for the for Thunder Steps essentially. Because he has 20 health. If they both activate, shoot, do let's say 5 damage, and the Shaman comes up, tells both of them to shoot, does another 10 damage piece or 10 damage total in that activation. That's just really threatening.
But what if Thundersteps uses the free move, goes into between
like you
those
planned it that
two
like I
terrain
planned that way.
pieces and then just gets rid of the
Okay.
Spirit Shaman?
Since I still hold the initiative,
Cut off, yeah, more terrain because these are gonna die. Yeah, that could be the play. Because you'll go up to 34 if she gets this as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then you just have to kill 6 more mastery worth of points. I think that could be the line that we see. We do see Nicky going first, getting used to this far side ambusher. I do like this, getting a little bit of
This
last
is an
value
amazing
before it
tempo
dies.
play.
Yeah, because you don't want to get out activated for right and like
I think I'll
have
activate
it die, and then you get 3 activations to his
first attack.
5, which is gonna just really.
Hey.
Oh, there's a 1. So just 1 damage, and he is
That's what I like to see.
attacking. He's attacking Rogarth. Okay.
It's I think that's hit. Yeah.
15? Yeah, that's
15 is
it
a hit.
for 4.
Okay.
So 4 damage. Okay.
Okay.
Not bad. Great value before being.
Oh, so
activated.
Nicky's at 0 mastery, or Echo rather, and we have
Okay, so
Spar
we
at
will
3.
go.
All right.
Yeah, Rogarth is kind of the only thing standing.
So, what do you think is the
crossbowman
play here? I
getting
mean,
across at
Rogarth
the
on
moment, so we
11.
can't
That looks
move
pretty
him out of the
killable to me.
way.
And then we've got Cleave.
I
And
don't
then
know.
we've got
I
a
don't
Citadel
think you get. I mean,
crossbowman.
if Rogarth dies, you are opening
Right.
up a lot of easy cleave targets.
So
But
think
I kind of like your sneaky shaman cut off reinforcements. You know, from the back, and you just kind of surround them. Play.
okay, Thundersteps has
Yeah,
sorority boots, but
but
not hit and run.
if she's got it, I mean,
So
it
that's
depends a
gonna
little bit,
feel
right?
little
If she's got
better.
Adrenaline Rush or anything like that in hand. Because with Adrenaline Rush, that Thundersteps can snowball into a lot of
Right.
damage. Oh, she's measuring to the
That-
Tarot Beast
Nope.
currently.
Oh yeah.
Rogarth.
I'm curious too to get
Just
this shaman if she would have to.
15?
do this
Oh,
for
he's
Okay.
shifting.
Spar is just throwing his Tarot
That
Beast to
help me at
Thundersteps
all.
because he wants to deny
Thundersteps
any
has
further damage
6
on Rogarth
so
and
he
the
can get to, like,
and the Citadel
there.
crossbowman,
No, so that doesn't help me at all.
which I think
Hmm.
could
Oh.
be a mistake because
Yeah.
we see a Blood Frenzy Berserker.
Okay.
All
right, so we're gonna
And the
move there.
Bone
with
Claw
White
Raider
Strike.
could just move
He
around
will
and
attack the
knock
far
back,
side
right, or
ambusher.
something like that.
Yeah.
Take the charge and knock
Yeah.
back or something.
I think the plan of the Bone Claw Raider will
So
be
that'll be
to
2.
pick up the relic,
It's
Yes.
the husk,
mastery.
Yep.
and
But
get
it,
maybe
that
the
guy did
Fang
his
of the
work, though.
Damned, probably.
Definitely did his job.
or do you
See
just
where I
take
can
up
get this
the
guy.
cloak and
So
then
there's
teleport her away so she doesn't die?
7.
I don't know. And make Thundersteps do all the work.
There's 10.
I mean, she's
Blood
fast enough
Frenzy
to
Berserker. I kinda
get
wanna
out of there.
Sure, with the nimble. That's
Yeah,
fair.
I think I need to keep.
Okay, if he, otherwise he's
these
offering the
guys over
Tarot
here,
Beast
so I'm
there,
gonna try to
and then
block.
there is a lot of damage on Rogarth.
Blood Frenzy Berserker might just try to come in
So
there.
we spoke about projecting
Neat.
threat.
Mhm.
Now currently we have to talk about how to close things down so your opponent can't just rush into your models, and
Okay,
that is
so we're gonna move him.
that is
Move this
a
Tarot Beast.
big task for Spar to get done
this way.
because he can't open up really, and he has to calculate how much damage Thunderstep's going to do.
Try not to
Because with a
overthink.
hit and a
bad
grace,
habit of that.
almost everything on the board will die. Except for Rogarth, he would be left with 1 health.
Sorry.
And the Shaman on 12. But with 2 hits, it's done. Everything dies on the table. And then he will get the cleave.
Oh, so we had Spar play Call to Arms here. So he's digging through his deck until he finds the first item, which there's only 3, so he's going to go through a lot of cards here. And it's Horned Helm. So he can play this.
the Horned Helmet. Okay.
So he can play this on any unit that he wants, and then that will bring him down to 2 or to 1 echo rather.
So that's 13.
So he puts it on Rogarth, a little bit extra
Horned
damage for
Helmet and
Rogarth, but
Rogarth.
also
you have
-2 damage if he wants to and needs it to survive, which he very well might here.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the main reason, I guess.
Yep. Okay, so she's 7.5 away, which is more than Thundersteps can. Oh wait, but she could discard a card, which I think I would do if I was Nicky. So I think, I don't know if Spar forgot about that, where she can. Oh, maybe
here. I can get to both.
Oh, she's getting both. Nicky's so smart.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
So-
that is exactly the thing I was talking about. How to position your models, because now with a hit and a grace,
Yeah.
a hit and a
two
grace.
intercepts and then my Cabra Mauler
Oh, what's
for
that?
Legless
So
Guard.
she's
Instance?
discarding a card to get 3 extra movement, and I think
Oh
Spar did
my,
not
yes.
calculate that because he
And
probably
then
saw
a
that
free move for that.
Rogarth was 7.5, which is more than a free move with the boots, and same with this,
Yeah.
but he probably forgot about the legacy that says you can discard a card during an activation, and then that model moves up 3. So that essentially lets her threat 9 inches of movement, and now he gets to make 2 attacks. So the first attack coming down,
Okay, so
this is going to be a
that
hit.
is, 7
I
damage.
think she's swinging on Rogarth
Who's she
probably.
hitting? Oh
Yep.
yeah, if she hits him
And
now
then-
again, he's done
He's
for good.
dead, yeah. Oh!
Oh my god, that's a 20. Oh my god, that's
That's
devastate.
necessary.
3 extra damage. It doesn't matter which item he has. He can't
It's-
discard it for enough
he's,
damage to
very
prevent it.
dead.
Oh
Ooh
no,
boy.
this is so he
It's
will
11
get
now.
2
And that is
echo.
a cleave.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
I feel a
It
little bad
is.
for Spar now. He will get 2
And
echo if he
now-
remembers. He did.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Okay.
And that brings her to 31 mastery.
It does. So this could be the game
Okay,
if she
that's
can't.
not- that-
She's gonna have to
that- I wanted
contest
that
with the
roll on the other one.
shaman.
Yeah,
all right, so
I
3,
mean,
right?
the
Yeah.
Bone Claw Raider is projecting threat to the
Okay.
husk,
That's
so
fair.
she can just pick up the husk.
Yeah, this is a tough position because those
Okay,
crossbowmen
so
would
we'll
love
go
to get battle cried
with-
by the shaman to just get, to have both of them activate. Just
Yeah,
blow up,
that's
uh,
catastrophic.
So this guy can
but
go like
you would lose the game if
16.
you use the shaman to battle cry both of them, or one of them rather.
And we also have a Blood Frenzy Berserker,
Yeah.
which she can ditch a card to push him
so I'm
3
gonna
inches forward
have
and then
Citadel
just
Crossbowmen
charge into the relic and into the
shoot
husk
Thunder Steps.
and go for the Citadel Crossbowman, which,
Well-
in case he kills something,
3
also
damage.
generates echo.
Well, and
Oh,
don't
boy.
forget too, Spar also has to defend this husk too
Move.
from being picked
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Because
that's
like
just what I
the-
said. Just what I
Okay.
said.
Oh, my bad. I'm I'm changing mastery and echo and everything like that. Sorry. So
Don't worry,
just getting
don't
back
worry.
up. But yeah, that is a great point that you were saying that Spar's definitely on the back foot here.
And that
And
is his turn.
He's running away, but he has to keep something in to contest this.
He is on the back foot while Nicky is on the Thunder Steps. Oh boy.
There is no way we get.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
Sempiternity just provided us the corresponding GIF. Just saying no.
All right, so it looks like the Blood Frenzy
Oh.
just running in here to engage. So now, I mean,
And the mail?
now it turns off the shot from the Blood Frenzy, which is
Okay.
awful. And I think you have to
Did-
shift this crossbowman, but keep him within
Did
the
she ditch a
relic,
card?
right?
No, she didn't.
Game's not
Okay.
going
No.
great for me. I'm
So
gonna
the cards in
shift
hand are
crossbow.
probably really good
Oh
because she
no!
didn't ditch any card to move him 3.
Uh-oh. I think Spar might have just punted the game here and not realized it.
I like to be able to have.
I think he's
have
so
my
focused
crossbow
on this
on
one
both
here. I'm
ends.
curious if
I'm
Nicky sees the husk over here and realizes she
don't
can just
think I
pick this
make
one up
that
now.
happen. So we're gonna
The
move
thing
this
is-
guy here.
Does she even have to?
I'm gonna sight through him.
Or is he shifting backwards and then using the shaman to go back in and contest the relic? Is that the play
Back him
he's
up
going to make?
there.
Is she
Okay.
within
Yep,
6
he's
to
just
walk
gonna
into
shift there.
here? No.
And he's done.
Okay, so
No,
he did a
I don't think
shift here to threaten Thunder Steps. Nicky does not see it. So
Okay.
So free move here.
And
I guess Spar does have last activation, and he does look like maybe this was enough to get the shaman through. But it looked like initially he was going to block off this way to move here.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
but she
Shaman
gets
will go and he'll battle cry.
she gets another.
Oh!
Crossbowman.
Oh no, he just battle
gets
cried the
another movement.
crossbowman.
Oh no, that's game.
Crossbowman.
Yeah.
Really sure?
That's game.
Crossbowman
Okay.
2.
Oh, Nicky just said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" This Spar doesn't see it.
Doing a Hail Mary.
Oh.
So that's gonna miss. So that's 3.
Oh no.
He doesn't have anything else really to. Yeah.
The other guy.
Does he have anything in his
Oh, 'cause
hand?
He
that
has an
can-
angel,
Yes.
unfortunately, and that's it.
That's why
If
you're
you
saying,
want to
yeah.
get the-
Oh no.
Let's see if
I mean, I'm fine
she's.
with move
gracious
back,
enough to let him take
we'll
it
go when
back.
the game ends if you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that's out of
Okay.
range. Does it change
Okay.
anything?
All right, we're doing a little
I don't
takesy
think it
backy.
does.
It's
Right.
all good. Good sportsmanship there.
Game doesn't
Show
have
of
that much
Nicky
longer
lets him to
anyway.
take lets him take it back and
All right,
not go through with the
so
shot. So we do go one more round,
we'll,
which is good. And maybe
end it.
maybe something. I mean, Angel in hand, he is going to be able to play it if he blanks anything else. But
You want to bid for
yeah.
initiative?
I mean, I think a shaman could go toe to toe with the Bone Claw
I
Raider and
sure
survive a couple of
do.
rounds. So really, it's just preventing, unless Nicky can. Well, Nicky does have an ambusher that he can deploy. She could deploy and pick this up. So it'll be interesting to see.
You have
Oh,
6
and he's going with
mastery.
the angel to deploy
Kill me with 6 mastery.
or to bid rather. Sorry.
10.
Bid the angel, yeah.
Kill me with 6 mastery. But just guaranteeing.
I mean, Thundersteps is in a really good spot now. 17 health, having a
Yeah.
relic that allows him to move freely, hitting with 2
And she has so
attacks.
many
If she's
cards
got
that she can
anything like Adrenaline Rush,
Yeah.
Retaliation, Hard Step Blast, anything like that. Oh no, she doesn't have Retaliation, but Hard Step Blast, etc. Thundersteps will be going nuts
Yep.
because this triangle right here with the Tarot Beast, the Citadel Crossbowman,
Sure, that's right.
and the Citadel Crossbowmans, that's just a playground for Thundersteps. Oh, we've got an 8
think-
and an 8.
I think
Nice.
Spar should be
Bloodfeast
at
Roar.
9
I'll
actually.
deploy a Warfront commander.
This is
Don't think
amazing.
it's gonna
This is
save.
an amazing display of Thundersteps. Oh, he reinforces it with the Warfront commander.
I'm pretty
Interesting.
because Spar was at 3 last round, but he only gave himself 3. He should have gave himself 6. So if you wouldn't mind messaging him there, Spar likes using these buttons here, which obviously doesn't automate it on the TTS round. So it does open himself up, but I know that these mastery trackers sometimes have bugged out as well, which is why I think he likes using them.
Nope.
So
I cannot block him off.
Yeah, this could be a banquet for Thundersteps.
Okay,
right, because he didn't cast anything, correct?
we'll just place him
Rogar?
there.
He
No.
did throw down Warfront commander just
And,
now, but he
Mhm.
didn't cast anything. No, I don't think so. So we are having another round.
Oops.
Then
No, I just turned you off the
deploying
camera.
another
Sorry.
Farsight Ambusher.
That's okay. That's okay. Only beautiful people are on this stream. Allowed. Okay, so
Great.
we've got a Farsight Ambusher
Everything's
again
fine.
in the Death
This is
Shroud
fine.
Maya.
Yeah.
The crossbowman can't shoot into the
All right,
Death
anything else?
Shroud Maya, so
Passing
this
the
backfires a little bit for Spar.
Farsight Ambusher.
Yeah, so Nicky went up to 6, but then used her 6 to get the Farsight Ambusher.
When
It
you
is interesting that she decided to pass the relic to the Blood Frenzy Berserker, because I think the Blood Frenzy Berserker wants to go up there and clear things off and do work, especially since it's only melee attacks. I think deploying the Ambusher behind the relic, because it has pinpoint, which I
Maybe
mean you can
she's
see through your own
sure.
units and stuff. So I
Maybe
think
she
that
wants to
would've-
make sure to activate him early in the round and shoot the Citadel Crossbowman to generate echo.
Oh yeah, because there's no. You're probably right. Does the echo still happen even if it's not a melee attack? Interesting.
It
Whenever an
does,
enemy is-
which
there you
then
go.
enables an adrenaline
Ooh,
rush.
and heart stab blast. Yes, you are. Gosh,
Yes,
Nicky,
exactly.
so big brain here. It's amazing.
Oh boy, adrenaline rush and hard step blast enabled, and hard step blast right into the 4 models of Spar. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts a lot. So what can Spar do here or pull off to
Can't kill my shaman.
try and escape the seemingly inevitable?
Yeah. I think you got to go with the Warfront Commander first, and you have to kill a relic holder to drop the item, right? So I think killing Thundersteps would be the biggest possibility here. So Warfront Commander double battle cry these crossbowmen. Hopefully you can hit and do 10 damage to him. If not, maybe get lucky with some crits. That's
But 10
probably
damage.
I mean, it's just
10 damage
okay.
brings him into the berserk mode.
it does, but I mean you just need to kill him to get the threat off the board as well as have him drop the relic.
That's true.
Is
You know
my
what? Let's go for it.
my thoughts.
I don't have any great
The
options
problem,
anyway. We're
the
gonna go
problem
Dwarven
then, if he
Commander, and
takes
we're gonna
10 damage,
double
is
battle cry
he's in the berserk mode. He needs just
So
one
crossbow
hit
one,
to get rid of
trash
the
your Thunder
Tarek Beast.
Steps.
He can then make a free move action
So another
and
Graves,
go cleaving on
another
the crossbowman.
crossbowman.
I mean, I didn't say it was a good plan. I
That
just
is
thought it was
actually
a
a
plan.
hit.
All right.
It is a plan.
At some point,
maybe not the best.
you gotta hope
And
that
that's it for
things
me.
start going your way and you start
We don't know if
getting
it's
some
gonna
luck
be
here.
good.
Maybe he rolls a couple ones, a couple misses.
Even
Nicky
though
does.
even though it might not be the best play, I just hope she activates Thunder Steps, attacks the Tarek Beast, and just goes ham on the crossbowman.
Yeah.
I really just hope so.
I
Because
think
she's got the adrenaline rush, she's got the
Yeah.
blast, so just go for it.
I think she's looking to just win the game and not try to board wipe him. My guess is kill the Tarek Beast and then come over here and try to clear the Shaman to open up both relics again
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
play. But it is very
Yeah, that's
tempting to
probably
go
the
into
play.
here and just kill everything, which is another way to get 10 mastery or however much she needs is just to kill.
Okay, question to the chat. Who would just go nuts? Who would
Almost dead.
go nuts and
All right, so
take
2 damage
into-
there. Nicky is going to go up 3 echoes. Yep, she remembers.
And who would do the
And then shooting the
clever
other
play?
crossbowman, it looks like.
So plus 2 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, that is so good. That is
She goes up
so
to
good with the
34.
ambusher, with the far side ambusher.
Okay.
Just hitting them,
Yeah.
generate echo, set up
Go
thunder
with
steps for a
the-
huge activation. Hard step blast enabled this round because generating echo in the round is just super good.
Okay, so Thunder Steps is probably gonna go next.
Yeah, that is a
can
great
just
play.
One shot this guy.
So guys, remember, even though it is a scythe,
Kill the crossbowman.
it is called
Leave on
the Reaper's
Commander.
Edge, but it still generates echo if you shoot things from far away.
That
The
seems
arrows
likely.
bind the essence of
So
the
what we're
slain enemies.
gonna do is
Yeah, this is
go to the
a tough
Tarek
position
Beast
here.
first to try to actually do some
yeah.
damage, but
She might
Because
still go in.
if you double swing with the Terror Beast, so let's say they both hit, you
Crossbowman's
bring it down to
probably gonna die.
3,
Unless
then
you graze,
a
you can
single
graze.
hit from a
Let's
commander
risk it.
or a
We're gonna risk it.
crossbowman turns it
We'll go
on.
with
I
the
think
Tarek
that's
Beast.
what
I
I
would
would
take
probably
big
do.
risks right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I would
gonna
just activate thunder
swing
steps and
at
go.
Thunder Steps.
Oh, I'm trying to win for Spar here. Okay, we're in
Oh,
Camp Spar right
yeah,
now.
sure.
Uh,
Oh yeah, you're with a pet.
yeah, I'm with the Pats. All right, so 4. Okay, we got a hit and a graze, so we're down 5. So if crossbowman can stay alive here, then it can kill Thunder Steps and drop it down. But then we also are at 34 echoes, so we can't lose 6 mastery worth of stuff. So
I think Nicky calculated that exactly and activates thunder steps now. +5, that is a hit. That is gone.
now she goes up to 36.
Now she can move the move. He's berserking. He moves through. Yeah. And now she's going to hit it on the Citadel Crossbowman.
She is
Second
going
attack.
for the board wipe.
Is it a hit? Is it a hit? No, it is a
It is not.
grace.
So that's 3 damage.
And Adrenaline Rush probably coming down now to double up on the attacks.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I think that would be good. Oh, because the Berserking 5 damage. Yep. So Adrenaline Rush guarantees the kill. If she's gonna
And
play,
then it
she's
is a
hovering over
cleave
it.
on the Warfront Commander.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just checking if there's a difference on flame.
Can we get another 20? For 11 damage?
But you can't kill thunder steps. Yeah.
I've never got the opportunity
Oh, no,
to play
we
it.
It would be
But
12. It would be 12 exactly.
Thundersteps make an attack against the crossbowman.
oh, for a crit? Oh, it would be way more than that. I think it would be 15 damage.
So
Because he has
Still
the
dead.
critical devastation as well.
then
So
on the Warfront
cleave attack now is
7
going to
plus
go on the
2,
Warfront
9.
Commander.
Yeah, cleave
So
attack. And we've got a 16 to hit.
was
So
Another
that's 9 damage.
9.
which is 3
9 damage, yeah.
What's the name?
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking the
Oh,
charge is
nice.
with 15. My bad.
Yeah, the
You're right.
charge
It
is
is.
15.
Yep. It would have been 13 damage.
But I mean, this Warfront commander, well, his legion is gone.
Alright,
And there is a Blood
attempted
Frenzy
to steal
Berserker
from
right behind Thundersteps, who smelled some
Yeah.
blood.
think
And now
I
he has
And
to
he's
shift this
probably going
Warfront
to
Commander,
finish off.
otherwise, and even a
Go
Graze
with
would
the
kill this. So
Spirit
this
Shaman,
Warfront Commander can't even walk in and try to kill something.
He activated already.
The
He
Oh,
activated
he
the
did.
crossbowman.
Oh no, yeah. So the Shaman's just
So
gonna
this is
go.
not an option.
from
Yeah.
just backing away and charging me to knock me out of there.
Yeah, I think
This is
with
not
the
an option
Shaman, you would
anymore.
have to. You can't even
Stay
crit this. I don't think there's a. I think this is pretty much going to be the game here,
There.
unfortunately.
I mean, she's at 39 mastery and she will go up to
I don't
40.
I can't push you.
She can ditch a card,
Maybe
move the
sure.
Blood Frenzy Berserker 3. 1,
Yep.
2, 3, maybe
Okay,
coming
so we'll
into
shift to there.
contact with the Warfront commander. I'm not sure about that.
It looks like Spar is just again forgetting about this other relic here. He's posturing for
Oh wait,
positioning
no,
here
you
and did
collect the
some
husk
shit.
over there, so you just
Yeah,
win.
he just realized that the other husk. So I think at
Yep.
this point
That's game.
they're willing to call it. So the final score is going to be 49 to
Sorry.
6.
Yeah, that's alright.
Yeah, and
It
to be
was a quick
fair,
one.
she probably could
Let's
have
go ahead and
she
unmute.
probably could have gotten the Warfront command too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's turn them both up and message them and see if actually can you message them so I don't keep on messing with the overlay.
Absolutely. And maybe if you guys have any questions in the chat, that is your chance to write it into the chat. I will have an eye on it. And will ask your questions that may or may not have been occurred during the game or maybe after the game.
Probably
So
after
Pat,
the
go
game.
ahead.
All right. Nicky, Spar, you guys there?
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Hey, great game, you guys. It was definitely a quick one, but I think that's what Thundersteps does.
Yeah.
So yeah, what were your guys' initial thoughts on the game? I guess Spar, we'll open up with you. What were your thoughts going into it with just the matchup in general, and then what was kind of the turning point for you where things kind of started to get out of reach?
So I haven't played Auric against Thundersteps, but my big concern, which came around and happened, was that all of my weak units would just be really vulnerable to the Thundersteps cleave. So that's kind of what happened. I think for me it was really downhill, really on turn when that Farsight ambusher deployed into the mire and then opened up on my crossbowman. And then not being able to collect a single relic, I kind of went all in on trying to kill the ambusher, and just didn't quite get it dead. So I couldn't collect the husk. Had no husks on turn 1, which is really just really difficult to come back from. So Thundersteps was able to just kind of get any relic that he wanted, and there wasn't really anything I could do about it. So, yep.
Yeah, not only
So that
being
was
able to pick up to deny you picking up the husk, but then it also made you stick there so you couldn't disengage, I'm sure, like you wanted to, right? Like you had to keep contesting that husk, and even if Nicky's ambusher was dead, it was a foregone conclusion, but it made all your models have to stay there in order to pick it up, which kind of teed Nicky up to charge in Thundersteps and start wrecking havoc.
right.
Nicky, what are your thoughts kind of going into the game, I guess, and the matchup? And
Well, one of the things I really wanted to, and I'm glad the deck kind of show that, is Thundersteps had that popularity of being, it's something that really snowballs at first when people start discovering the game. But as the game moves on, I see a lot of people like underestimating him and saying, "Oh, it's really simple." But uh, a lot of options that Thundersteps have that he didn't get to show up the this guy, which was
Hmm.
something I had on my first hand too. Okay, at worst possibilities, it positioned itself in a way to do that. Thundersteps is actually really good at making that play of, okay, I don't need to necessarily pick my two relics, but I can deny you one of yours.
Hmm.
It's really good when you can pick both and deny that. But having those Tarot Beasts, having the Bloodfeast Raptor, and having that extra move of 3 that you can pick on every unit, it's something that at least we find it's kind of consistent that Thundersteps can deny your opponent one of them. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's also good because the Farsight Ambusher is kind of like a not necessarily a side deck card, but it's also a side deck card that goes into the main deck because it plays really well into the Veshron Mire. And it kind of does that the game where he can force you into dealing with it inside of the fraud mire and create those charging lanes where, okay, if you go out there, you're probably going to, whatever comes here, it's probably going to be that because it's Thundersteps plus another bit stick that is charging you.
When you
yeah.
played
Which,
that
okay,
Farsight Ambusher in the terrain, were you kind of treating it like a sacrificial pawn? Like, did you know that you would kind of like lose this piece eventually, and you were comfortable with that, or I guess what were your thoughts there?
yeah, I mean, obviously I prefer to not lose it, but since he had Roger, he
Hmm.
had Crosswoman, so there is a real possibility that 2 hits, they just kill it. So it's 6 mastery, but it's 6 mastery that is denying all this positioning. And if I really needed, I had the extra actions at the start
Hmm.
for the. It's actually one of the things that I you didn't know that you did that, but the way to position Rogert didn't allow me to use the Hardstyle Blast to push it away. So it was also one of the things, okay, if Rogert either fails to kill it, or the first plan was to try to kill a crossbowman, and then it'll be 3 against 3, and I'll be in advantage. If that failed, I had the possibility of using Endless Rage to try to do a second attack and try to finish it. But when Rogarth missed, okay, now you need to hit with both Tarot Beast and the Crossbowman and position them both there to
Hmm.
actually kill me. Otherwise, I'll be with 1 HP. So I don't need to waste it right now. I can just do the standard plan of playing Thundersteps Advanced, which was exactly what I did. So everything worked out. But that is one of the
Yeah.
things I really like about Thundersteps. He has a lot of game plans that are not decided based on what cards you pick. It's a lot of positioning on the board. Okay, I can threaten an extra move here or a charge here to deny you positioning there.
Yeah, that would be another question, Nicky. After you mentioned it, the positioning game was really strong with you and the Thunder Steps, and I would like to know if or how it impacted you positioning Spar, having the Flash Gardens right next to your starting point, and with keeping in mind that there is a lot of knockback also in Nicky's deck and available via Thunder Steps, for example.
I didn't really need to move any of my units in a position that they were likely to get knocked back into the Flesh Garden, so it wasn't. I feel like it wasn't really a factor in this game. I think the Death Shroud Mire mattered a lot more, and getting the Farsight Ambusher deployed in there on turn 1 was really rough. So
You won
Hmm.
the bid though and took the board edge, right, Spar? Correct.
yes.
And so was your deployment zone based on the positioning of the terrain, I guess, of trying to avoid, like, obviously the corner you deployed in, I feel like had less opportunities to knock back. Was that kind of your primary thinking of taking that corner versus others, or were there other factors that, weighed into your
Partly
decision there?
that, but also partly because it had 2 husks that I should be easily able to get to, but the Farsight completely demolished that. So the Farsight Ambusher was absolutely MVP of this game. Completely shut me down. And that was, yep, that was really rough.
My other question for you is, I messaged you when you sent the deck list over, and I said 31 cards, eh? And you told me that you were going to take a card out of your main deck and put it in your sideboard, but you forgot. Was that calculated or just an oopsie in the moment?
No, I haven't played against Thundersteps, and I haven't got that many games in with Auric yet, so I didn't really know what to take out. I honestly thought about taking out a priest, because with only 8 health, they feel like that's just more fodder for Thundersteps to walk through when he gets his cleave going.
Yeah, by the
Um,
way, putting out cards, you played with 31 cards, I guess.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. And
One
then.
slight tip I would have on that on the Thundersteps matchup is even without the Foresight Amateur, that relic is like really reachable for Thundersteps. Even a Tarot Beast can get there without any additional card because it can like discard 1/3
Mhm.
and then move like 5 here, another 10 here, and another 5 here. So like there's like a quarter of Thundersteps that can get there without an additional card, and basically anyone can get there with an Adrenaline Rush.
yep. Um, Yeah, and if I play this deck against Thundersteps again, I think I might try to place the husks closer to the deployment zone just to have something that I can really easily get, because this really illustrated. I mean, this has always been the weakness with this Ulrich deck, is that if I get rushed, um, I can never get enough
Yeah,
units on the board for it to really start to become a threat. So if you can keep me from getting husks, ambush my units that are trying to get to the husks, it gets pretty difficult, and that's kind of what happened. So Thundersteps is very much a rush deck, so I
yeah.
was really worried that was going to happen, and I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it
How did you feel
kind
about
of
your
happened.
opening hand spar with the units, the crossbow, the range of
Um,
units you had? Is there something else you would have liked to hit, or did you feel like this was an okay hand or good hand? I guess in hindsight.
it was okay. Yeah, I don't know really what I would want instead. Um, I had the Herald. Maybe I should have played that earlier, um, to try to use the protection to keep my units alive. I think that may have helped a lot. Um, but yeah, it's tough when you're only starting with 20 Echo
20.
to
Yeah, you're very
play the Herald and other things.
very echo starved at the beginning of the game.
Yep.
Nikki, do you have?
And
Yeah,
not getting any priests doesn't help with that for sure.
yeah. I mentioned that Nikki was DDoSing the server to restart the game because I think you would have had a more favorable matchup your first time with your first hand. It looked pretty juicy,
Yeah, the
but.
second hand was basically perfect. I think the only thing that could be improved was if the Blood Frenzy Berserker was a cheaper unit, so I could still play an extra action or something like that,
Yeah.
and still play Thundersteps on round 2.
Yes.
But like I wasn't unhappy about my starting hand on the last game because I
Hmm.
had Muktavar able to be positioned inside the ambush, the Deathfrontmire. So even if he wanted to drop something with the cloak or a Foresight Amateur, I don't know if he has one on deck, but he will be open to rending.
Hmm.
And I also had like the Tarek Beast threatening 2 relics on the middle, so I could do the same game of getting this one, either forcing a Tarek Beast to run to this. And I think it needed a little bit extra with an Adrenaline Rush or something like that. I don't know if, or a Battle Cry in this case. But it also means that, okay, I can get one, and you either get one and I get two, or I get one and you get nothing.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things that Thundersteps is really good at doing.
Yeah. So would you there was a question of KitKat, and she was curious about your thoughts around the forward deploying with the ambusher. Is it something you would highly recommend, or you do regularly with Thundersteps, or is it something
And
that you have to be in a good spot with the terrain to risk it, I would say?
I mean, if you get an opening hand, playing it, I mean, this deck doesn't use Death Thrallmire, and I wouldn't change Death Thrallmire just to use Ambush. I don't think there is. Would still use the Foresight Ambusher in this case if he didn't had Ambush and was like 5 cost. I would prefer a more melee-centric unit, but in this case, it's a very good unit because it has a lot of threat range. Is a great target for you to use your horn helmet, so you can position it easier and like pinpoint a target and push into the terrain. It's something that your opponent is going to try to rush down, so you can use your Hardstyle Blast defensively in that situation. You can use Thunderous Devastation as well, and it's always good to have some kind of range support. In this situation, you really have to outweigh, the amount of what I'm gaining with positioning and forcing my opponent to deal with this piece. It counterfeits the amount of mastery that it's giving. In this case, 6 mastery it's not cheap. It's not something that I would like lose sleep around that, but you still need to kill something. For example, in Thunderstep's decks, you still need to kill an elite or a unique or my seeker because most of my units don't cost 4, so it doesn't actually get you to that 10 threshold of mastery. So if you kill, for example, that and a Terror Beats, you still don't get 10 mastery in this situation to maybe win a game. So it's something you can, but you need to outweigh on the circumstance.
Okay, I hope that is a very elaborated answer for KitKat and all of you guys that wanted to know if putting forward an ambush unit, for example, the archer, is a good move or not. I think it was super interesting because Pat and I were both pretty surprised and were like, that's donating 6 points, is it? And then
Yeah.
it turned out that the positioning game was so good and he survived a little bit more than Spar would have anticipated, I guess. And then you had a really good setup. And yeah, it is absolutely nice to get some insights from you and how you try to plan the game around those positioning and relics, and super helpful to see that. And
In
the
this case, for example,
devastating attacks.
very different if he costed 7. Because if he costed 7,
Mm.
it means that you can kill it and kill, for example, what's the name of the cost 3 unit? I forgot. No, it costs 4.
Crossbowman or something? Or
Yeah, for example. I don't have one in deck, but okay, now it means that this unit plus this another unit,
mhm,
it becomes a 10-point score.
sure.
In this case, Tarek Beast is the most aggressive basic unit which I have. So it would need to cost 8 on my head to be a bad trade-off in this situation, and 8 would be probably be a far stronger unit than a Foresight Ambusher is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do we have any
Okay.
more questions from the chat? Pertaining to the game, Nico, before we kind of wrap things up.
Um, to the game, I don't see any questions left to the game itself. So I guess we
I
can
I do, I
round
do have
things.
one
Which is
final question for Nicky. Oh, Spark, why don't you go ahead? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I also have I just realized one of my misplays that could have turned the game around in my favor, which was I completely forgot that Thunder Steps can discard a card to move 3 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I had remembered that, I would have, instead of going with the Tarek Beast to finish off the Fireside Ambusher, I think I would have gone with Rogarth, finished it off, and then ran Rogarth the heck out of there.
Yeah.
Just to try to get away from Thundersteps, because I knew that Thundersteps was gonna, go for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That.
everybody put a
There it is.
hand up who got shot by this little movement trick.
Yeah.
I got.
Yep.
That's something I forgot also.
my,
So
my
yeah, it is
my
pretty
last
nice
question
to have
actually is
this.
for Nicky, and regardless to as far I think that that we didn't see it until really like I think the turn before, right? It was after Taric Beast, and then we realized, oh crap, now she can do this. So I think a lot of us missed it. But the turn you were going to battle cry with the shaman instead of not losing the game. And this question is for Nicky. You have many titles, Nicky. One of them is No Mercy, Nicky. But you let him take it back in order to run and not lose the game. Are you still worthy of the title No Mercy, Nicky?
To be frank, I only said that, and I knew it was like, oh, I mean, if you don't do that, I'm going to win right now. I'm probably going to win that next round.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think it was less merciful to let me take it back because it would have just put me out of my misery faster.
Okay.
I would use that.
Maybe it
All
was
right.
more of a cat and mouse thing that Nicky wanted to
Yeah.
play a
There
little
we
bit
go.
more.
I would also go with that, but legitimately, I was like, oh, I mean, you're not seeing that I'm winning the game right now.
Hmm.
Like, I was kind
Yeah.
of surprised because of that. So
Yeah.
not
The game
not
was
like this
game was over
start.
at that point anyway. Let's
Yeah, but
be
it was like
honest.
I'm knocked out Robert at that point, and basically other units were either pretty dead or I had a very good threat against them.
Yeah.
And it was like even if Auric, even if another, and I don't think you even had Echo for that.
You
So it's
did.
like, oh,
I think I'm actually at 0.
No, you're at 3. I gave you 3 because you forgot to. That last round, you should have given yourself 6, and you only gave yourself 3. So you should have had 3.
Oh.
I tried to give you 3 more and pointed out to you that you could have played one more your last card,
Play the
which was a
crossbowman.
crossbowman. But I think you miscalculated your echo. So yeah, because you did have 6 at one point, and you went down to 0. But I've been keeping track as well, and you should have gone up to 9 at the beginning of round 3 instead of the 6 you were at.
Right.
Yep. So, all right. Well,
So
thank
a
you
big
guys
thanks.
for a big thanks for the game. Thank you all for watching. Nicky, do you have any kind of final words or anything before we sign off here?
I mean, thank you so much for playing my game.
Yeah, of course. We love it. Spar, any final thoughts from you or any final words?
No.
No.
Thunderstep
You're gonna.
slows boom.
I'll come back bigger and stronger next time.
You know what?
Please
I
do.
don't know if the TTS rankings are up or the rankings are up to date, but I think you are currently number 1, Spar. So at least you can hang your head high
Woohoo.
on that you are currently number 1 in the world for the Malediction
You win
ranking.
some, you lose some. It's
Exactly.
part of
Yep.
the game.
Yeah, at least
win
this
'em
one
all.
didn't count for rankings, so you're still number 1. So
Yes. I'll take it.
All right. And with that, everyone, thank you again for watching. If you want to like and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. We're always putting out new Malediction content. And until next time, again, Nico, thank you for joining me. And yeah, we'll do it again
Always
soon.
bad.
All right. Have
Thanks
a good one.
for the players. Have a good one. And bye bye.
Yeah.
Have fun playing Malediction.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.